Thanks for staying with us. So with so much happening in the news cycle, it's easy to get overwhelmed. Rolling blackouts, soaring data costs, interest rate hikes, which lead to the rising cost of living, among other issues that South Africa is currently trying to withstand. There's so much to complain about, which could leave many hopeless. But just how do South Africans move from a position of being despair to optimism and seeing that something can be done? Let's speak to Michael Jordaan, who is the founder of Bank Zero. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I'm going to borrow something that you say, Michael. You say that South Africans have alternatives for the frustrating load shedding, expensive mobile data, and high bank charges. They need to stop being afraid of change. What does this change look like?
So thank you very much. Nice talking to you. Look, it's a terrible time for South Africa. I'm in daily contact with businesses who want to shut down because they don't have power. I have people who moan because they pay very high fees for data. And data, of course, is important because it's what connects us to the modern economy. And then people say they can't save because bank fees are ripping them off. But they are very welcome to moan and they can point fingers. And I'm not saying it's not valid to point fingers. But my message to South Africans is do something about it. If you think your bank fees are too high, look around. You know, obviously, I think Bank Zero can help them, but there are other solutions too. If you think you pay too much to get data, shop around. Now, I represent Rain. It's unlimited data and it's, very, very affordable, but there are other solutions. Take the 5 or 10 minutes to switch. And then the big one is load shedding, of course. And right now, I think the obvious solution, if you can afford it, is solar. Because solar, if you use it in daytime, is cheaper than Eskom. So I'm not advocating solar because it's green. That's a wonderful side effect. I'm saying use solar because it solves your problems. It's cheaper than Eskom. And if you can't afford the capex, some of the banks are already financing it for you, and they charge you less than Eskom. And that helps the people who can't afford it because it takes pressure off the grid as well. So it's a solution for everyone.
Now, how does one move from this point? Because listening to you, you're saying that if you're not happy with something, let's try to find solutions. But at times, when you log on to social media, there's just so much negativity. Everyone is upset about anything and everything. So how then do you move from that particular point to then saying, okay, I do share the same sentiments that these people share, but I am now going to start shopping around. How then do you have that mindset switch?
So, Bongiwe, I'm smiling because I even saw on your Twitter, you said you're looking for somebody to help you with the solar panel.
And I'm hoping it's you.
So it's natural to be frustrated. I mean, it's fine. And Twitter's a great way to vent it. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. But I'm saying that after all the venting, just do something about it. So the solar one is, there are many solar providers out there. Yes, right now they're quite busy and they're getting lots of people who are contacting them, but they will come and do an assessment of what you need when you use your power. Many of the first solutions that they will tell you to do is how you can just save power. I mean, there are many households in South Africa that try and clean their pools, which take a lot of power, in the middle of day, when there's a lot of need for the power. Or they have their geysers charged at the very wrong time. So a simple thing like, deciding when you have your shower or your bath can actually significantly reduce your power. And there are bulbs, etc. So the first one is just be more efficient. But the second one is get an expert and let them quote you what the cost is of installing solar. Now, solar is best for businesses who use power during the day. This includes farmers, for example. And last year, South Africans, just on their own, installed more solar power than one single level of load shedding. And this year, it will be multiple levels of load shedding. So what I'm advocating, people fortunately are already doing, but I think we can do it faster. And I think we can solve this problem within a very short space of time.
So I suppose then, listening to you, you're saying that because a lot of finger pointing, a lot of blame also goes towards those in power. So you're saying that right now it is time to take the focus away from that, take the power back and try to find solutions.
Yes, take the power back from the people in power by creating your own power. That's exactly the message.
All right, let's then look at, tomorrow. Someone tonight is on edge because there's talk of a possibility that interest rates are going up. And there's now talk that, think about solar energy, and panels are not cheap. These backup systems are really, really not coming cheap. So for someone tonight who's watching, who's saying that there is a chance that interest rates are going up, and that means I'm paying for this house, it's going to be a lot more expensive. Let's then talk about that, because ultimately it is these particular contributing factors that are leading to hopelessness.
Yes, you're quite right. So the market expects interest rates to increase by 25 basis points or 50 basis points on Thursday. That's in line with what's happening in the rest of the world. Bears in mind that we've come through a long period of quite low interest rates. So while it's tough, now full understanding for that, I also support the Reserve Bank in fighting inflation. We just have to do it because inflation is a tax on the poor. The nice thing about solar finance is that typically it's not based on interest rates, but they recoup their capital expense for installing solar on your roof by charging you for the electricity that you then use. But that electricity price is most often at a discount to what you would pay Eskom. So all it really is that you swap paying money to Eskom to paying somebody who financed the solar installation on the roof of your house or your business.
So let's then, as we round up then our conversation, because one of the things that, we started off with is the fact that if you moan and you don't talk about solutions, it's something that is dangerous. But the extended talking is also in and itself a bit of a problem, because if you think about load shedding, for example, we're now seeing dialogues mushrooming all over the place. We're seeing a lot of talk around what could be done, what can be done, but we're not seeing a lot of acceleration when it comes to implementing the solution. What does that prolonging of the dialogues also do in the mindset of those who are receiving this information and are sitting in the dark or not even able to run their businesses?
So it's very sad. I really am in contact with businesses who have been operating for a long time, that have created jobs out of nothing. That's what startups do. And suddenly they're thinking of handing back the keys. So it's a very sad thing for me. My only message to them is that, problems like these are also opportunities. And the opportunity here is you can change to a system which gives you cheaper power than Eskom. Why would a logical, rational business not want to do that? Yes, it takes a bit of effort. Yes, you have to shop around. Yes, you have to arrange the finance. But at the end of it, you're going to sit with lower power. And you can sit with lower data costs, lower or zero bank fees. So the core of my message is just take action. Talk is easy. Of course, action is harder. But the end result of the action that you take is satisfying. It can save you money. And it happens to be the right solution for the South African economy too.
All right, Michael, let's hope then some of those watching tonight could be optimistic once again about the South African brand and see that maybe something can be done. As you say, take action. And action is not only about venting, but it is also getting involved in the solution. Thank you so much for that. We do appreciate it here on the show. That was Michael Jordaan, Bank Zero founder. Of course, take action, as it says. Talking is hard, but we need to get involved. And of course, we are looking at more of some of these solutions, and what then should South Africans be doing during such difficult times?